used to think fear was loud, screams, sirens, chaos, but the night I learned who he really was, fear was quiet. It sounded like a key turning in my own door. I thought I knew him. Until that night. When I met Adam, peace felt possible again. He had that kind of calm people wear when they've learned to listen. He didn't interrupt. He didn't rush. He remembered how I took my coffee. He called when he said he would. After years of chaos, that felt like a miracle. We took things slow. Quiet dinners, late-night walks after the rain. He asked questions no one else ever had. "What makes you feel safe?" I said. Routine quiet. He smiled like he understood exactly what I meant. The first signs didn't feel like signs. A phone always face down. Pressed shirts, but sleeves rolled just enough to hide small cuts. Business trips that came from nowhere. I told myself not to overthink it. Because when you want to believe in someone, you learn how to lie to yourself gently one night. While I was cleaning the kitchen, he came up behind me. "I like us like this," he whispered, and I wanted to believe it. I wanted the simplicity to stay simple, but simplicity sometimes costs more than you realize. It was raining that night, the kind of rain that makes the city sound like it's breathing. I woke up around 2:37. His side of the bed was cold. A faint light glowed down the hallway. His phone. For a second, I almost laughed at myself. Go back to sleep. But then I heard it. A voice. Low. Unfamiliar. A recording playing on speaker. I walked closer. His phone was unlocked. A message thread was open. A name I didn't know. The latest text said, "It's done. She won't talk again." My hands went cold. I tapped the screen. There was a photo. Blurry. Dark. Something red. Something that looked too real. Just then, I heard the front door. Adam walked in. Soaked. Calm. He saw me by the window. He smiled. "Couldn't sleep?" I didn't answer. He dropped his keys, glanced at the screen, then back at me. "You shouldn't go through my phone," he said. Softly. No anger, just certainty. I managed. "Where were you?" He shrugged, peeling off his jacket. "Work. Ran late." His sleeve fell back. A fresh cut across his hand. "Don't wait up next time, okay?" His voice was so even, so careful, and everything in me screamed run. But I didn't. He stepped closer, brushed my arm. "You're shaking," he whispered. I pulled away. He smiled again. "Get some sleep." I didn't. At sunrise, he kissed my forehead and left for work like nothing had happened. At 9:02 a.m., I called the police. I told them everything. They said, "Stay calm. We'll send someone." No one came. By noon, I was searching his name online. Nothing unusual. Too clean. Then I found a receipt in his jacket, under another name. And that name led me to an old article. A missing woman 3 years ago. Different city. Same eyes. Same smile. What scared me most wasn't the photo. It was realizing I'd looked at that same face every day and never seen him for what he was. By sunset, I had a plan. I packed a small bag, left one light on, kept the phone in my hand, 911 ready to call. 7:18 p.m., footsteps in the hallway. Slow, measured, then the key. He was home early. "Hey," he said, like nothing was wrong. His eyes drifted to the bag near the door. "Going somewhere?" I swallowed. I called the police. He stopped. No anger, no panic, just silence. He closed the door behind him. "You were doing so well," he murmured. "You didn't ask questions. You liked the quiet. I gave you quiet." I forced myself to breathe. "What did you do, Adam?" He tilted his head slightly, studying me like a problem to solve. "Names don't matter," he said. And then, almost softly, "I never meant to let you see." He dropped a black bag on the table. Plastic wrap rope. An old cracked phone. No blood. But I didn't need proof anymore. He stepped closer. Slow. Deliberate. I backed away toward the back door. "Don't," I said. He paused. "You weren't supposed to be part of this." "Part of what?" That half smile, the one I used to love, appeared again, the cleanup. I hit call. The dial tone rang out. 911. He looked down at my phone, then at me. They won't come in time. I ran. Barefoot rain. Asphalt. His footsteps followed. Slow at first, then faster. I hid behind my neighbor's car. Heart pounding. Breath too loud. He called my name. Gently, almost kind. Come back inside. You'll slip. His shadow passed, then stopped, then turned. Sirens. Faint, then closer. He froze. Didn't run. Didn't speak, just stood there, hands half raised, like he'd been here before. The flashing lights hit. He turned his head. Our eyes met one last time, not anger, just disappointment. And then it was over. They questioned me until sunrise, every detail, every word. How long had you known? Long enough to hate the answer. They found more. Old IDS, multiple cities, women who'd disappeared quietly. One detective said, men like him choose quiet women. They count on it. And I realized I'd chosen quiet too. I'd mistaken peace for safety. Sometimes I still wake up at 2:37. I listen for footsteps that aren't there. I stare at the door until I can breathe again. He's gone. He won't be back. That's what they tell me. But I still hear his voice sometimes, asking, "What makes you feel safe?" Back then, I said, "Control." Now I think it's clarity. It's asking the hard questions. It's walking away when your heart whispers run. I used to want a perfect ending, but sometimes survival is the story I thought I knew him. But that night, I learned something more important. I needed to know myself. If my story feels familiar, you're not alone. Listen to your instincts, even when they whisper. Thanks for listening. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Unspoken Truths for more real, emotional, and psychological stories.